The Weaver sisters, three sisters who changed baseball. Imagine three sisters from a small town in Illinois who became baseball superstars, not in the major leagues you know today, but in a league just as exciting, the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League. This is the true story of Betty, Jean, and Joanne Weaver, three sisters who proved that girls could play baseball just as well as boys. Our story begins in Metropolis, Illinois. Yes, the town that's now famous as the home of Superman. But in the 1930s and 1940s, this small town on the Ohio River had its own real-life heroes. Betty was born in 1929. 4 years later came Jean in 1933. And the youngest, Joanne, was born in 1935. These three girls grew up in a house where baseball wasn't just a game, it was a way of life. Their dad, Lloyd Weaver, had played minor league baseball. Unlike most fathers in that time, he didn't just teach his sons how to play. He taught all his children, including his daughters, how to throw, hit, and field like professionals. In the 1930s and 40s, most girls weren't encouraged to play sports like baseball. The Weaver sisters were different. While other girls their age were learning to cook and sew, Betty, Jean, and Joanne were learning how to hit a fastball and turn a double play. During World War II, something amazing happened. Many male baseball players went off to fight in the war. Someone had a brilliant idea. What if women played professional baseball? In 1943, the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League was born. At first, it was more like softball. The ball was bigger, and pitchers threw underhand. But as the years went on, the league became more and more like real baseball. By the 1950s, when the Weaver sisters started playing, the league used the same sized ball as the men's major leagues, and pitchers threw overhand just like today. These women were playing real baseball. Betty was the first Weaver sister to go pro. In 1950, at age 21, she joined the Fort Wayne Daisies. People didn't know what to expect from this rookie from a small town. Betty answered their questions immediately. In her very first season, she won the batting title with an incredible .346 average. That means she got a hit almost every third time she came to bat. She was named Rookie of the Year. But Betty's best season came in 1952. That year, she was unstoppable. She batted .331, second best in the whole league. She led the league with 81 runs scored. She drove in 74 runs, the most in the league. She hit 17 triples in one season, a record that still stands. For her amazing performance, Betty was named the league's most valuable player. But what made her even more dangerous was that she was a switch hitter. She could bat both right-handed and left-handed. Pitchers couldn't figure out how to get her out. While Betty was the star slugger, Jean was the player every team needs, someone who could do everything well. Jean joined the Daisies in 1951. She played third base, which is one of the hardest positions because you have to react super fast to balls hit your way. She also played in the outfield. But here's what makes Jean special. In 1953, the team needed a pitcher. Jean said, "I can do it." And she wasn't just okay, she was great. That season, Jean's pitching record was 7 wins and only 1 loss. That means she won almost every game she pitched. Her winning percentage was .875. That would make any pitcher in the major leagues jealous. Oh, and she also batted .313 that same year. Imagine being good enough to pitch and hit at a professional level. That's like if a star quarterback was also the team's best receiver. Joanne was the baby of the family, but she might have been the best player of all three sisters. She joined the Fort Wayne Daisies in 1951 when she was just 15 years old. Most kids that age are just starting high school, but Joanne was playing professional baseball. By age 16, Joanne won her first batting title with a .344 average. Then she won again the next year, and the year after that, 3 batting titles in a row. But 1954 was when Joanne had the greatest season in the history of women's professional baseball. The league had finally switched to using the same ball size as the men's major leagues. Joanne was ready. Her 1954 season numbers sound impossible. Batting average, .429. Let me explain how incredible that is. A .429 batting average means Joanne got a hit almost half the time she came to bat. Even the greatest baseball players in history struggle to hit .400. Ted Williams hit .406 in 1941, and people still talk about it today. Joanne hit .429. But that's not all. 29 home runs, a league record. 109 runs scored, more than 1 per game. 79 stolen bases, she led the league. 87 runs batted in. Joanne could hit for power and steal bases. She could do it all. She was named the league's most valuable player, just like her sister Betty had been 2 years earlier. The Fort Wayne Daisies with the Weaver sisters were almost unbeatable. From 1952 to 1954, they won the regular season championship 3 years in a row. In 1954, when all three sisters played together, look at what they did. Batting average, Joanne first, 429, Betty second, 352. Runs scored, Joanne first, 109, Betty second, 80. Stolen bases, Joanne first, 79, Betty second, 34. Two sisters finishing first and second in 3 major categories? That had never happened before in professional baseball, men's or women's. Sadly, even though the Daisies dominated the regular season, they never won the championship. They lost in the playoffs each year. It's one of the great what-ifs of baseball history. In 1954, after Joanne's incredible season, the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League played its final games. With more families getting televisions, people stayed home to watch men's baseball instead of going to the ballpark to watch the women play. But the Weaver sisters weren't ready to quit baseball. Their manager, Bill Allington, formed a traveling team called Allington's All-Americans. They piled into station wagons and traveled all over the country, playing against men's teams. For 4 more years, from 1955 to 1958, Betty and Joanne kept playing baseball. They proved they could compete against men, not just women. Eventually, they had to stop. There were no more opportunities to play professional baseball. Betty got a job at a pump factory in Fort Wayne. Joanne stayed in Fort Wayne too. Jean moved to Chicago. For years, nobody remembered the league or the amazing Weaver sisters. They just went to work every day like everyone else. In the 1990s, something wonderful happened. The 3 sisters all moved back home to Metropolis to be near their aging parents and each other. Then in 1992, a movie came out called A League of Their Own, starring Tom Hanks and Geena Davis. It was about the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League. Suddenly, people wanted to know more about these amazing women athletes. The Weaver sisters went from being forgotten factory workers to local legends. Kids in Metropolis learned that their grandmother's generation had women baseball superstars right in their own town. In 1988, the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York, created a special exhibit about the Women's League. The Weaver sisters' names, photos, and records became part of baseball history forever. The story of the Weaver sisters has a sad ending. Both Betty and Joanne were diagnosed with ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. It's the same disease that affected the famous baseball player Lou Gehrig. Betty passed away in 1998 at age 68. Joanne died in 2000 at age 64. Jean, who suffered from dementia, died in 2008 at age 74. All 3 sisters are buried together at St. Stephen's Lutheran Church Cemetery in Metropolis, Illinois. Even though the Weaver sisters are gone, their legacy continues. In 2020, Major League Baseball named a conference room at their headquarters in New York City after the Weaver sisters. Imagine that. In a building full of rooms named after famous male players, there's now a room honoring 3 sisters from Metropolis, Illinois. There's a scholarship in Canada called the Betty Weaver Foss Scholarship. Every year, a young girl who plays baseball receives money for her education in Betty's honor. In March 2025, the Illinois House of Representatives officially recognized the Weaver sisters during Women's History Month. Their story is now part of official state history. Today, when girls play baseball or softball, many don't know about Betty, Jean, and Joanne Weaver, but they should. These 3 sisters proved that with talent, hard work, and family support, girls can do anything boys can do. They didn't just play baseball, they dominated it. Betty hit .342 for her career, one of the best averages in league history. Jean won 7 out of 8 games as a pitcher, while also batting over .300. And Joanne hit .429 in 1954, the highest single-season batting average in professional American baseball history for any player with enough at-bats to qualify. From a small town on the Ohio River, 3 sisters showed the world what women could accomplish. They are heroes, not fictional ones like Superman, but real ones. And their story deserves to be remembered.